Everyone watching our Willow TV broadcast. I am Dr. Nilesh Mehta in the lovely city of Cleveland, where the 27th United States National Carrom Championship is being held. This is the final day of this tournament. This tournament has attracted more than 120 players from all across the country and Canada as well. Cleveland has been the host of this tournament, and we are extremely excited to be bringing this to you live from Cleveland. And I am very happy to welcome my co-host, Bala Parthasarthi, who also happens to be the president of the United States Carrom Association. A very good morning to you, Bala.
Good morning to you, Dr. Mehta. Very glad to be here. This is an incredibly exciting day for Carrom. It's a historical occasion for sure.
We are going to be seeing the lineups for today. The first match of the day here is the singles semi-finals between the 11-time Carrom champion Saravanan Babu along with the dynamic Preeti Jakhotia. Of course, Preeti Jakhotia was the runners-up in the World Cup in Malaysia last year, and she is going to be tackling none other than Saravanan Babu. Bala, your quick thoughts?
Oh, it cannot get any better than this. I think the lineup for the top four today, this is arguably the top four players in the entire Western Hemisphere. And we are going to be in for a treat. I can promise you that.
Yes, the singles final is very exciting. It is going to be an absolutely electric atmosphere. Cleveland is the city where the first electricity was discovered, and this atmosphere is going to be absolutely electric. Believe me, Bala, seeing Preeti Jakhotia tackle Saravanan Babu.
Yes, and you know, everybody in the US Carrom community has been waiting to see this showdown. We haven't had them face off yet in this level yet.
And if you think about Sarvanan's game, the 11 times Carrom champion, then we were all hit by the COVID pandemic. And then what has happened is people thought that Saravanan probably has lost his mojo. But watching him in this tournament, he has been superb. So this is going to be an extremely exciting semi-finals between Preeti Jakhotia and Saravanan Babu.
And you know, Doctor, the US Carrom Association has been promoting Carrom in the United States for the last 27 years. This is the 27th US Nationals, of course. And you know, promoting the game takes a lot more than just the players showing up in one place. We want to thank our sponsors, New York Life, Willow TV and Sling, for coming forward and supporting our cause. Without their generosity, events like this are hard to be produced, and we cannot bring you these kind of events.
Yes, Bala, this is going to be an exciting day in the city of Cleveland. And Bala, I want to just remind the Willow TV viewers and listeners, if you are just listening to us, that this is a tournament of many firsts. This is the first time we have gone completely paperless, where all the scoring has been done virtually on their phones. We've had player analytics that we will be showing you as the tournament progresses over the next few days. So this is a very exciting time for Carrom to be brought to the world.
Absolutely. As you rightly pointed out, this is there are so many historical firsts in this tournament. The first time Preeti and Saravanan are facing each other, the entirely mobile software and the corporate sponsors, so many firsts.
And I certainly want to take this opportunity, Bala, to appreciate what the US Carrom Association has done to bring a tournament of this magnitude to the viewers, not only in the United States and Canada, but all over the world.
Yep, absolutely. And Doctor, just a few moments ago, you had a chance to talk to our champions. Let's go hear from them, what they had to say before going into the semis.
Welcome to Cleveland, Ohio, the home of the 27th United States National Carrom Championship. Cleveland is no stranger town for this man, Saravanan Babu, 11 times US Nationals Carrom champion. Saravanan, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
That smile on the Carrom board is very different as opposed to what we are seeing on Willow TV right now.
I'm here to play a game.
So, for those of you who do not know the journey of Saravanan Chandra Babu, tell us about your journey of Carrom in the US. You are 11 times Carrom champion, Saravanan, and that just listening to that gives me goosebumps. So, just share with our Willow TV friends and family about your journey in Carrom.
Yeah, I started playing in 2007. Billy Steven is the person introduced me to the Carrom, and I participated the first 2007 in Las Vegas, and I won the tournament. Then kept going. Every tournament I go, I keep winning. COVID, I couldn't participate couple tournaments, and now here 27th Nationals in Cleveland. So I'm here.
One of the things I want the Willow TV viewers to just observe and watch how Saravanan sits on the Carrom board. It's like somebody sitting on the throne. That confidence personified Saravanan Chandra Babu when he's sitting there. Your strategy for the semi-finals, my friend, what is it?
Every board is mine. Take each coin one at a time.
So that's what I'm talking about, friends. That confidence that this man exudes is immense. And that is why 11 times United States national champion, Saravanan Chandra Babu. All the best for you.
Thank you so much.
For the semi-finals.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Willow TV. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, there you heard from the smiling assassin, Saravanan Chandra Babu, who is ready to take on the 12th championship of the United States Nationals. And now, let's hear it from Preeti Jakhotia as we interviewed her earlier. Welcome to the city of Cleveland, where the 27th United States Nationals Carrom Championship is being held. More than 120 players have converged in this town in Ohio for this championship. And I am with Preeti Jakhotia. Preeti, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
So Preeti is a name that is known worldwide in the Carrom circles, not only in the United States, guys, but in the world, because Preeti bagged the silver medal in the World Championships in Malaysia last year. So first of all, congratulations on that account.
Thank you so much.
Now, coming back to the national championships here in Cleveland, 120 participants and you are in the semi-final. How does it feel?
It feels great.
Now, Preeti, can you share with the Willow TV audience about your journey of Carrom in the USA?
Hi all, this is Preeti, and I started Carrom 3 years ago during pandemic in 2021, and it's been very interesting and roller coaster ride since then. I have to play at national level in US, so of course the level of practice also has to be accordingly, and this will be my third nationals that I'm representing, and super excited that I've reached semi-finals.
You have been a master tactician when it comes to pocketing coins, defending yourself against tough opponents. What kind of strategy are you employing in your mind when you are getting ready for the semi-finals, Preeti?
No particular strategy as such, but one thing for sure, I'm gonna play, all my game the way I have practiced with utmost dedication, and rest, may the best player win.
Preeti has made the world Carrom as well as Carrom in the United States very proud, and we are very happy that you continue to excel in the game of Carrom. So congratulations one more time, and all the best for the singles.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks to United States Carrom Association. Thank you to Dr. Nilesh. Thank you to Willow TV and all the audience who are going to be watching the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's kind of an aerial view of this hall where the Carrom tournament is being held. The red area in the center that you see that is cordoned off is our center court, which is where all the marquee matches will be held. Bala, what a lovely venue.
Amazing. If you had seen this yesterday, this room was filled with the 120 players, and now it has come down to the top 4. And the players are getting ready. In just a few moments, the referee will do a toss, and for the first time, the United States Carrom Association is introducing a new way of doing toss in Carrom through a striker lag. And let's see how that unfolds.
So Bala, you just said something, a new way to do the toss.
Yes.
And that is an interesting twist to the game. And here we are going to be seeing, this is our chief referee, Subbu, on your screen at the moment.
Yes, looks like the players and the referees, everybody is settling down.
The instructions are being given to both the players as to how the toss is going to be conducted. Normally it would be a flip of a coin or the black and white coins in our palms. But Bala, can you explain a little bit more?
Yes, so we have borrowed this concept from pool where the players, so let me see if I can show you. So the player, for example, he's sitting here. They have to hit this frame and bring the striker back between this area, between their base frame and the base line of their side. And whoever is closest to the frame is deemed the winner. So in this case, Saravanan is the winner because his striker came to the rest closest to the frame, and Preeti was about half an inch away. Babu won the toss. They'll be starting.
And Bala, typically in Carrom, if you win the toss in singles, you have two options, right? Either
Right.
you decide to take the break or you pick the side. And I think this is something important because we spoke about the character of each board, the personality of
That's
each
right.
board. So can you expand on that a little bit?
That's right. I think so, the players, they have to make an important decision here. When you win the toss, you get to choose between strike versus side. Do you want to take the first strike, or would you prefer to sit on the other side? It's going to be a best of 3 sets, so they have to anyway change sides after the first game. But it's important to start strong and set the tone for the match early on. So, each board is unique. They have some imperfections, slopes. They're sitting certain sides of the grain. So it's really important. They've been playing on this board for just the last 10 minutes. This is the first time they're playing on this board. And it looks like they're ready to go for the first strike. So here we go, folks.
United States 27th Nationals up and running.
Pretty decent break, not his best. Doctor, both these players, they have a very similar style of play. Both have similar grips, and they both have an aggressive mindset when it comes to, how do you want to set the tone early in the game.
Yeah. It's early in the morning, and obviously this is the very first board of the first game. So the hands need to get warmed up, and they need to get back into the rhythm. They played a long day yesterday, but this is a new day, Bala, isn't it?
Correct. As you mentioned, Doctor, it's a long day, and these Carrom matches, they require a lot of stamina, both physical and mental. Each of these matches, they can last up to 2.5 hours. A game of Carrom potentially can last up to 45 minutes.
And so far we've seen 2 misses by Saravanan, which is rather uncharacteristic. But again, this is the semi-finals.
Preeti seems to be in good nick. Saravanan is going for a pair. Clean.
He brought that white as a defense. And now the battle for the red, Bala.
That's right, Doctor. In Carrom, it's all about the queen, isn't it?
So the strategy here is try and attack your coin, pocket it, but try and defend the opponent's coin at the same time.
Another uncharacteristic, unforced error from Preeti. We don't see very many of these from players of this caliber. But then this is the very first board and the very first few minutes of what is likely to be a long marathon.
A marathon for you and me, Bala, too.
Absolutely. Okay. This could potentially be it. And oh,
So he made room for that last white, but we just wasn't able to get through that small gap.
this is a very difficult situation to get out of for Preeti. Okay.
And
This is called a minus or a due in Carrom, where if you simply pocket the striker, one of your own pieces comes back on the board. And there we go. Saravanan takes board number 1. And Doctor, what did you think about the game so far?
Well, the very first board, both of them are warming up. And what I saw was that both of them missed some relatively straightforward shots. But while Saravanan missed a bit more, but he did come back.
Okay. Preeti's first break failure. That again is a pretty uncommon thing. But then, that's what we were talking about earlier, isn't it? These boards are brand new. And these boards are not perfect because Carrom equipment is made of natural wood. And these players are still trying to get adjusted to the playing surface. And you might see a few of these minor errors here and there from the players' part. Not because they are nervous or anything, but merely because they are still trying to get used to the playing
And
surface.
that's a lovely cut, Bala. And that's the opportunity for Preeti with multiple whites that are open.
So, Doctor, do you see this coin here? That coin is what we in the Carrom world we call as a bomb coin. So Preeti can use it to reconfigure the entire board. You will see.
I like the word idea coin. I don't like the word bomb.
All right, so you belong to the idea camp.
Yeah.
There we go. She's going for a bomb, Doctor. And she missed. So the idea again was to pocket that bomb coin and send the striker bombing around the entire board in extreme high speed.
Well, Saravanan certainly seems to be in good flow at the moment.
He's going for a cover. Saravanan takes the queen.
And he
Missed.
misses the last coin, Saravanan. Bala, 2 white coins on the board for Preeti. What do you think?
Well, this could be it. And there we go.
And just look at the body language of Saravanan. He's totally focused. You can see it on his face. And Preeti also very focused. She has to make a comeback because she's lost the first 2 boards. And the score is 11-0. Saravanan leading after 2 boards. I think one of the important things is Preeti's break failed, and that allowed an opportunity for Saravanan in the second board.
Yeah, you know, Saravanan is not a player you want to take an early lead on as an opponent, right? So this could be a difficult situation for Preeti to get out of. But again, Preeti tends to bring out her best when she's cornered. And here we go, the referee is saying the rack is not exactly right. You know, unlike billiards where we have something called a triangle to create the perfect rack, in Carrom, players have to rack it using their hands, and sometimes there are minor gaps between those coins, and the referee will have to make sure that players don't get any undue advantage.
And the red has to be right smack on the red.
In the center of the circle.
Center of the
That's
circle, exactly. Here we go. Board number 3.
Another break failure. It's still a pretty good break, I would say, even though he didn't pocket any whites.
Players get only 15 seconds between strokes, so they have to make up their mind as to what their next angle, next stroke is going to be.
Oh, beautifully done.
It's 15 or 12?
15 seconds.
15
doctor.
seconds.
So it's not an easy position. So you can see neither player wants to open the cluster because these guys, they just bide their time. It looks like nothing much is going on, but when the position seems just right, boom, the board can get over.
I was discussing yesterday with somebody, you know, in cricket we talk about batting, fielding, bowling, right? In Carrom, I try and divide that into 3 phases. One is the initial strike, and then what we are seeing right now is that middle part, the middle overs, coin management, and then towards the end we have the death overs in the IPL. They go for the kill in Carrom also.
That's absolutely right. It's going for a rebound and a miss.
And Preeti plays a nice defensive stroke there.
And Babu has again taken the queen in this board as well. You know, taking the queen gets you 3 extra points. And also the board is not over until the queen's done. So queen plays a major role. It's a key strategic element for players. It's not an easy one. Oh, amazingly done. He made it look a lot easier than
it
was.
actually really was. And here we go, rebound to finish board number 3. So Preeti remains scoreless so far, and Saravanan has taken all 3 boards so far. At the moment, it clearly seems, Bala, that Saravanan is running away.
It definitely appears so, but we have seen so many times where Preeti has had a late start and she has come back from the dead to snatch the game away.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put anything past her at this moment.
Preeti's first break actually failed, so this is her second break of the semi-final that you are watching here live from Cleveland, Ohio. Rather uncharacteristic, Bala, isn't it?
It is. It is, Doctor.
2 successive failures in breaks for Preeti Jakhotia.
Do you think it's the nerves?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a big moment. Winner of this particular match goes into the finals of the 27th US Nationals.
And plus, this is only the second time they are playing on live TV. The stakes are high.
But I think players of this magnitude, Bala, a camera sitting next to them, I don't think it would really faze them as much. If it was you and I, maybe a different matter, Bala.
And there's a reason why I'm not sitting there.
And
As a player.
there's a reason I'm sitting next to you. And Murli, our man, waiting in the wings. Good morning, Murli.
So if Preeti takes this board, as long as she gets something on the board, on the scoreboard, it starts playing in the opponent's mind. As long as the score remains 0, Saravanan will keep on the attack.
It is such a rhythm game that once you get your rhythm, it almost seems that the coins go in so smoothly. And there are times where you say, why did this simple coin not make it to the pocket? So I think Preeti is just trying to find that rhythm at the moment.
Erase coin. They didn't take the coin yet.
Saravanan showing some aggression, forcing Preeti to take open pieces, which is a strength. So, not sure. This could be his way of testing her confidence level, which appears pretty high to me.
Well, right now her rhythm seems to be coming back.
And she takes the queen.
And there you go, a lovely finish by Preeti Jakhotia. 3 black coins on the board, and with the red and the queen that she took, Preeti has now opened her account in the first set of these 3 games that are going to be played in the semi-finals between Preeti Jakhotia and Saravanan Chandra Babu. A nice comeback, Bala, by Preeti.
And a strong one too. She has caught up to him already half the way. As you see, Dr. Saravanan is at 16, and the maximum number of points a player can score in a single board of Carrom is 12. And Saravanan is within striking distance of the finish line.
He certainly is, but a break again that did not get him a white coin, so Preeti gets her chance.
So a game of Carrom is played for 25 points or 8 boards, whichever happens first. And right now we are watching board number 5 in progress. So roughly halfway through game number 1. And each of these matches are played as a best of 3 games. A nice attempt. In the Carrom world, Doctor, the shot they just played, it has a really funny name. It's called a Justin shot. I have no idea why it's called that. Apparently nobody knows. It's lost in the mists of time.
Saravanan trying to release some coins to make it easier on his subsequent attempts, which he successfully has done.
So the scoreboard is inverted. The player to our left is Preeti. Now it has been rectified. But they are still fixing the scorecard. The current score is Preeti 8, Saravanan 16. And they are currently playing board number 5.
We'll just update the score for you in a second on your screens.
Okay, and the scorecard has been fixed.
Look at the smoothness with which they are playing. The coins seem to be going right in the center of the pocket. That shot you saw tells you about the confidence of Preeti, I believe. The way which she stroked that coin and cut it. And now the defense.
Well, she certainly appears a bit more confident than what we saw a few minutes ago.
Saravanan has 2 coins of Preeti's in his base at the moment, and
A beautiful cut. And now he plays defense.
trying to release 2 of her coins, Preeti.
Okay. Now Saravanan is forcing her hand. He does have a finish now.
There is one more semi-final happening simultaneously,
That could be a costly mistake.
and we will be updating the score of the other semi-final after this board.
Right? It's a tricky position. This is not an easy coin at all. You know, this is a classic example, Doctor, of how in Carrom the number of coins doesn't necessarily indicate who has the positional advantage.
And now she's going to attempt her black, but yet make the white difficult, right?
Oh, amazing.
That's an
That
excellent
was a
shot.
beautiful glance punch combo. Oh, and look at that. This is exactly what we were talking about. She literally snatched that board from Babu's hands. Board number 5 has been completed. Even though she scored only 1 point in that board, it was a very important one.
I think
She
more
stopped.
importantly, there were Bala. There were 3 blacks at that time and the red, so
It
she
seemed
saved 6
impossible,
points,
didn't
right?
it? It was an impossible position to come back off. Yet another failure on the break. This is almost unheard of. And viewers, once again, you're watching the singles semifinals between Preeti Jakhotia of California and Saravanan Chandrababu of Cleveland, Ohio, of the 27th US Nationals Carrom Championship happening in Cleveland, Ohio. So Saravanan has the home ground advantage. And the other semifinals is being played by defending champion Luis Fernandez of Canada and US ranked number 1 Ajay Arora. And the score at the moment is Ajay leading 13 to Luis 5 after 3 boards.
Nice cut by Saravanan. That's a great shot. As and when we have time, we'll bring you some interesting replays so you guys can enjoy some of the strokes that Preeti and Saravanan have made in slow motion.
You know, Doctor, Queen is open for Preeti, and it's really important for her to take the Queen. And that could be an extremely costly miss. If Saravanan ends up taking the Queen in this board, Preeti is not going to forget that miss for the rest of her life. Saravanan misses, but still it is not in an easy location for Preeti. So, Doctor, I would think at this moment Saravanan has the competitive advantage.
And there was a costly miss again, Bala.
Yet again, I see a little bit of jitters from Preeti's side. Perhaps from both players.
Saravanan had the option of taking the Queen straight, but he
And
preferred
Preeti covers
to.
the Queen. That mistake, which could have proven extremely expensive, was not capitalized by Saravanan. And now it's going to be Saravanan who's going to be kicking himself over that miss, not capitalizing on that missed opportunity, which is going to haunt him for a long time to come. And look at that. Just like that, the score is tied, 16 all. And you know what's interesting, Doctor? In the other semifinals happening in parallel between Ajay Arora and Luis Fernandez, after 4 boards, they are also tied at 13 all.
It just tells me one thing, the level of competition. I mean, even if you are trailing by a few points, you just don't count them out. They have that innate ability to come back.
That's absolutely true. You know what they say, it's not over until it's over.
And again, a break fail. That's kind of a common theme from both the players that I have seen. Not able to pocket a white in their initial break. There are a lot of coins that are in the middle, Bala.
It appears these boards are a little on the faster side. So the players are still getting adjusted to the speed of the board.
Bala, just like you have a personality, the Carrom boards have a personality too.
And that's true.
And I'm not going to talk about your personality in the general audience, but the personality we spoke about the Carrom board may be on display at the moment.
That's right. This is a happy occasion. Let's not talk about me. Saravanan takes the Queen and going for the cover. And Saravanan takes the Queen.
Saravanan has 3 whites on Preeti's side, and that is going to be challenging how he gets those out.
So it does look like Preeti has the positional advantage at the moment, even though she has more coins left on the board. She has what we think of as insurance. She has made sure Saravanan has difficult coins and that he does not have a finish, which is the most important thing. And you can now see that sense of resolve on Preeti's face.
She seems a lot less tense now compared to the first board, right?
Absolutely. And she should definitely feel that she can take this game after coming back from 0-16.
Correct.
You know, Doctor, every player has their own unique strengths and weaknesses, and Saravanan's biggest strength is his grit. No matter what the opponent does, he seems unfazed.
And you talk about the strength. Saravanan has also admitted publicly many times that one of his weaknesses is his home game, or the base game as we call it. But he certainly worked very hard on it.
That's right, Doctor. And for viewers, in Carrom, when we talk about base game or home game, we are referring to this section of Saravanan's base. So coins in that area are played with the player's thumb, which is not their natural grip. And Saravanan hails from Chennai, India, where they primarily play without using much thumbing. So he did not play thumbing at all for the first 20 years of his life.
In fact, back when he was growing up in Chennai, Saravanan used to play standing. And there was a
Oh, look at that.
lovely cut by Saravanan there. He used to play standing back in the day, and then no home base, no home shots. So here we go, last coin for him to finish. And
A brilliant finish by Saravanan.
so after 16-16 tie, now we go down to the last board. Bala?
That's right. Look at those. Those were some brief highlights.
Last board of this first game.
Finally, Preeti has a successful break. Not her best, but at least she retained her turn.
So Bala, Preeti has to score at least 5 points to win the last board. The difference of 4.
Yep, this is what we call as crunch time. So, Doctor, this is board number 7 in progress. So, this may or may not be the last board.
True. But just for all the Willow TV viewers who may or may not be completely aware of all the Carrom rules.
And we just saw that bomb shot that we were talking about earlier. She just pocketed one of her coins and in the process sent the striker on a trip around the Carrom board at extreme high speed to essentially reconfigure the entire board and change the position. Those are the most dangerous moves that Saravanan needs to watch out for. That is Preeti's strengths, one of her many.
Oh, that one just stopped halfway. This is a tough coin,
I believe
trying to find the right angle.
she's going for a third pocket. Couldn't get it. I think Preeti has taken the queen in this board. So had she pocketed that, it looks like there was a foul. Her striker was not positioned correctly, if I'm not mistaken. And the referee had called a foul, which is why one of her coins a white one in this case, came back to the center circle.
Is that foul going to come back to haunt Preeti?
Could very well be.
That could very well be the turning point of the last board, if this is the last board. And it looks like it will be now. Two lovely cuts executed by Saravanan.
And he misses it. But anyway, she has only 2 of her coins, and he's going to only go to 24 even if he wins now. And there we go.
So there you have it. The players will change sides. Game 1 goes to Saravanan Chandrababu in the best of 3 games in the semi-final between Saravanan Chandrababu and Preeti. And in a few minutes, they will get ready to start game number 2. Bala, your quick thoughts.
Well, it was a true clash between the Titans that we were hoping for, although we did see somewhat of a rocky start from both players. A few uncharacteristic misses, including break failures, which are very rare from players of this caliber. But the highlight of the board for me, the game for me, was how Preeti mounted a comeback from 0-16. And in fact, she had her opportunities to take the game away, but a few uncapitalized opportunities. And there we go. First strike of board number 1 of the second game.
Preeti is on the right of your screen. What was interesting about the first game, Bala, was that after trailing 16-0, Preeti made a comeback to 16 all, and then eventually she lost the first game.
That's right, Doctor. And in fact, that's one of her many strengths. Just when all hope seems to be lost, she pulls off miraculous comebacks.
Well, this is the game where she'll have to bring her A game.
Another miss. And Saravanan defends the queen.
Now it is that part of that coin management so that Saravanan can go for the kill, but his one coin on the right corner is blocked by Preeti's white. Does Saravanan have a finish?
I think he does, even though that coin appears to be blocked. We're talking about this black here. What he just played is known in the Carrom world as a turning shot. Oh, it's a tough position for Preeti.
Nice shot by Preeti there. A difficult coin on the opposite base. And a little bit soft on that stroke. Center coin. Center coin finish for Saravanan Chandrababu. Let's see.
You know, these center cuts are the bread and butter of the Carrom world.
How smoothly did Saravanan take that? The first board of the second game goes to Saravanan Chandrababu. He scores 4 points. So it's Saravanan 4 and Preeti 0.
And there we go.
This is the second game of a potential 3-game semi-final between Saravanan Chandrababu of Ohio and Preeti Jakhotia, who hails from the Silicon Valley in California. Preeti has to come back for the second game. And we have an update, Bala, on the second semi-finals.
That's right, Doctor. So in the other semifinals happening in parallel on center court number 2 between Ajay Arora of United States and Luis Fernandez of Canada, Ajay is leading 20 to Luis's 13 after 6 boards. If Ajay wins game number 1, that could be a big upset.
Absolutely. Anytime you could take a game from Luis Fernandez, it's always a big deal, isn't it?
And he is going for a 4-peat this time. He has won it 3 times in a row, this championship. So he is the man to beat these days. Let's come back to this game. That was a beautiful rebound from Preeti. And for viewers who are just joining us, we are watching the 27th US Nationals Carrom Championship happening in Cleveland, Ohio. And this is the Champions Division singles semifinals between Saravanan Chandrababu, 11-time ex-US national champion, and Preeti Jakhotia of California, going for her maiden title. And the semifinals are played as a best of 3 games, and Saravanan has already won set number 1 or game number 1. So Preeti has to win this set.
And you can see
Stay in the
that small defensive strategies players employ. Since Preeti did not have a easy coin to take, she just made a white difficult to make it more challenging for Saravanan.
Have at least one insurance, as they say.
And it's a lovely, lovely punch shot.
And he just makes it look easy, huh?
I think that is, this particular point is the game changer. Game changing moment, I would think.
It all depends on what Preeti ends up doing.
And that was a good stroke by Preeti, bringing that white black between in her
Saravanan
base.
takes the queen. So Preeti's attempt to defend the queen did not succeed, and Saravanan takes the queen. She does not want Saravanan to take an early lead in this game. That was a beautiful attempt. And that scored her an extra turn. Can he do it again? You know, Doctor, this cat and mouse game can go on for quite a bit sometimes.
Battle of the wits, Bala. Look at that shot.
A
Lovely
beautiful
start.
double. And Preeti attempted to punch that black to the top right pocket.
And this is where Saravanan kind of falls behind, is the base game which we were talking about earlier. And Preeti came back, and that game-changing moment that we thought was the case, but Preeti came back, and
Saravanan certainly had his opportunities, and his known weakness with thumbing or base game did indeed cost him that board number 1. He had a finish, but he couldn't capitalize on it because he lacked that one key aspect of Carrom.
yeah, you saw that shot that Preeti played to bring the coin from Saravanan's base back, and now we are board number 3. Nice rebound, but just to bring the white back in her base. That's a lovely shot by Saravanan. We are in Cleveland, Ohio at the 27th National Carrom Championship. 2 semi-finals going on simultaneously. The other semi-final between Ajay Arora and the defending champion Luis Fernandez. Ajay is leading 20 by 15 in the first game. And this is the last board of the first game between Ajay Arora and Luis Fernandez, as we come back to this match between Preeti.
Oh, what a beautiful double by Preeti.
Lovely shot there. Nice
Dr.
cut.
Carrom is not just about pocketing coins, is it?
Not at all. Strategy, how you manage the board, and sometimes defense is so important, isn't it? And particularly if you're not in a good rhythm and you want to kind of just get a little bit extra time to get your game back, a little bit of defense never hurts.
Absolutely. So, would you say that then in Carrom, you need to first of all, of course, be able to pocket the coins? That's basic execution skills. That's obviously needed. And you need to have that strategic advantage as well, to be able to outthink your opponent. In some sense, Carrom is like chess in that way, isn't it?
Absolutely. And going to this game, I think Preeti probably knows very well what the weakness of the opponent is, and that we talked about thumbing. But he tries to overcome that thumbing weakness with the aggression that Saravanan shows.
You mentioned the word aggression. So that's about the temperament of the players, right? Being a doctor yourself, is that a key element of being able to play and win these kind of critical moments? The maintenance of your nerves and being able to hold your confidence.
It is so important. I mean, for any sport, a lot of these are mind games as well. How you perform, your focus, concentration, all of this comes with experience, with time, as we are now down to the red and the black. So let's see what Saravanan does. Does he go for it or just defend? I thought he was going to go for it.
It appeared so. And with that, Preeti blocks the pocket. Queen comes out. Now here we are once again in the cat and mouse phase of the game, which happens very frequently. Saravanan is yet to miss a single center cut in this match so far. But
He played the black the third rather than the cut. Do you think it was more of a defensive thought process there, or?
Yes, I think it was a defensive move on Saravanan's part.
And that's a nice finish by Preeti to grab 4 points on the third board. And Preeti now leads for the first time 5-4.
Doctor, we have an update on the other semifinals between Ajay Arora and Luis Fernandez. And interestingly, they are tied after 8 boards. Unbelievable, isn't it?
So Luis made a nice comeback there.
He made a nice comeback. Now they are tied. Now they'll play a tiebreaker board, and we will provide updates here to viewers on that match as well. Now let's cut back to semifinal number 1 between Saravanan Babu and Preeti Jakhotia, where Saravanan has already won the first game, and it's going neck to neck so far in set number 2.
Another miss on the break by Saravanan.
The score after 3 boards is Preeti leading 5 to Saravanan's 4. Oh, they have this smooth pocketing, right? And Saravanan takes the queen.
In Carrom, when you have your break, it's an advantage for the person who breaks, and you want to try and maximize the advantage of the break and score points. And that's a general rule of thumb when you play Carrom, that have good breaks because you pull all the coins on your base, making it difficult for the opponent. But then this opponent is, these two players are no ordinary players. You're talking about 11-time US Nationals champion and the
It looks
silver
like,
medalist of the World Cup. Was there a question about a foul? There is.
yes, it looks like Saravanan is claiming a foul. Oh, it looks like the umpire is called a foul on Saravanan.
I believe he touched the white coin in his base.
That was a
Good
beautifully
attempt.
precise attempt. And Preeti is coached by 3-time world champion Yogesh Pardeshi of India.
I've had the opportunity of meeting Yogesh on multiple occasions. A thorough gentleman.
And arguably one of the greatest Carrom players that ever lived.
I would have to have a discussion on that with you a bit later on.
Certainly, Doctor. It was a beautiful double again. You know, Preeti hasn't missed a single double attempt today. Or at least it appears to me that she is able to succeed most of the times. It was an uncharacteristic miss from Saravanan. I would say Preeti perhaps has a slight competitive or positional advantage at the moment.
I would agree with that. The striker that Saravanan has been using, he's been using it for many years. And in some of the interviews that you will hear later on, the strikers that the players use, some of them stick to the same striker for many years. Luis Fernandez, for example, will change strikers from tournament to tournament. But Saravanan is one of those rare breeds who will stick to that. The rebound, he missed that white. So how does Preeti get those two blacks out?
You know, Doctor, now we are in the mid-game segment of the board. What these players do now is what's going to differentiate between champions and the rest of us.
So she got one black release and Saravanan missed that rebound.
So just one black remaining on the board, but if she ends up opening it up for Saravanan, he is entirely capable of cleaning the board.
Oh, that's a miss by Saravanan.
She's going for a hook pair. Doesn't succeed.
The red has been captured by Saravanan in this board. So the damage, in case he were to lose, would be minimal. But
Looks like
we
he's
are
going for a
not
finish.
talking about damages when we talk about Saravanan Chandra Babu.
That's a costly miss. And Preeti takes the board. Gifted by Saravanan.
So this has been a low-scoring second game between Preeti and Saravanan. Preeti is at 5 and Saravanan at 4. And we have an update from the other semi-final between Ajay Arora and Luis Fernandez. Ajay wins the first match 22-20. So game number 1 in favor of Ajay Arora. As we get ready for the fifth board, Preeti to break.
Finally, we see a typical Preeti break, as we have seen so many times. And in Carrom, when a player does the break and completes all their coins, we call it as a slam or a white slam.
And we saw one white slam by Naveen Chilakalapudi in this tournament. 2 white slams, I'm told. Thank you. Having a slam in Carrom is like hitting a double 100 in cricket, Bala. Would you tend to agree there?
Completely.
Or if you were a bowler, you would say a 7 or 8 wicket haul.
I guess all the sports have some similarities with each other.
Try to release that. And now the defense.
That
And
was
a
a
good
brilliant-
defense at that too.
Extremely tough shot.
And you see the difference what happened there. A coin which is an automatic for Preeti at the pocket. Saravanan defended.
We're talking
And
about this
it
coin
already-
here. This
Yes,
was
exactly.
almost at the mouth of the pocket, and he pulled it back towards here, giving him the necessary cushion to go more aggressive.
Oh, that was a lovely attempt by her. And that's Saravanan Chandra Babu. Now, the problem for him is this white sitting here that is blocking.
Beautifully done.
And she misses the red.
So she has the red here, and there is a white here blocking the pocket for Saravanan. I would say this board at the moment, the positional advantage is clearly in favor of Preeti. Can Saravanan turn the tables around somehow?
It's a tough spot for Saravanan at the moment. I completely agree with you. Advantage Preeti Jakhotia. And that's a good defensive move if there was one.
And Preeti takes the queen and the cover.
And now the head cut.
She's really good at that. But then,
This is the classic commentator's curse, Bala. When Preeti looks at that, when she looks at the YouTube videos, I'm going to tell her.
Will he go for a glance or a separate coin? He does go for a glance. Beautifully done.
That's what you call
Takes
a comeback.
the board away. That was indeed.
So the game changer there was missing the head cut, clearly, was it?
So I would say, yes, it was, but Saravanan forced her to make that mistake by defending the white from near the pocket to that particular location, which earned him the board. He came back from a position of complete disadvantage. There was no chance. The odds were clearly this coin here, this cost Preeti the board. That coin previously was here and Saravanan brought it here. That one move gave him the chance to win the board. It's going very neck to neck in the second set of the singles semifinals of the 27th US Nationals Carrom Championship, happening live in Cleveland, Ohio, between Saravanan and Babu, the 11-time US National Champion, and Preeti Jakhotia, widely considered as the best player in the US at the moment.
Well, we are down to the final four. One semi-finals is we are watching live on Willow TV, and the other semi-final, game number 2, happening between Ajay Arora and Luis Fernandez. And what a lovely shot
That was a
there.
lovely shot. He was trying it again. This was a cut and a rebound at the same time. You know, Doctor, oftentimes these champions, they employ dual intent shots. They accomplish two things in one go. Sometimes it is an offense and defense combo. Sometimes it's two coins in one go.
Preeti has a lot of coins left on the table at the moment. Let's see. And he's going to play the base shot now. Lovely shot.
So this is, now we enter the mid-game segment. He nicely releases it. Advantage Saravanan. Beautifully released by Preeti.
A few of Preeti's coins on the opposite base. So this is going to be an interesting move and a great attempt on that occasion. And two whites for Saravanan to take over. And he finishes the board with 4 blacks on the board. So Saravanan now making a strong statement on the 6th board here. As
Doctor,
we look at the replays.
that was a rebound, but let's watch this. It was a beautiful thumbing. So the score in the second set, after 6 boards, Saravanan is leading 9-6 for Preeti. Preeti has to win this set or Saravanan moves on to the grand finale.
And that's a costly miss.
Now Saravanan has to take at least one of his coins, the black, before attempting the queen.
And that attempt of that red by Preeti early on in the game and there was a miss, so it comes back. The chief referee Subbu very careful in positioning the red, trying to occupy the center red to maximum capacity. That is where the red comes back into play.
Now Saravanan will attempt to defend the red, and he does. That was beautifully done.
That truly was an amazing shot, Bala.
That was absolutely a game-changing shot.
That is the game changer without a question.
And he takes the queen, the much needed queen.
Nice release of that black. This is the second game between Preeti and Saravanan. Saravanan won the first game, and Preeti has to win this second game to force a final third game between these two.
This is board number 7. And they are tied, 9-all. And in the other semi-final between Ajay Arora and Luis Fernandez, Ajay has won the set number 1, but Luis is leading in set number 2, 6-0.
And is down to the last coin. Does Preeti have the right angle to, or is she going to go for a third pocket? And she did attempt a third pocket, but she missed. And this gives an opportunity to Saravanan to take the other 3 blacks, which seem relatively straightforward at the moment. And no, he missed that.
A costly miss. Another miss by Preeti. Neither of them capitalizing on the opportunities provided by their opponent. Can he do it now?
And he finishes that in style.
4
Saravanan
points for Babu.
takes the lead now, and we will be going to the 8th board, Bala. This is a do or die situation for Preeti. Preeti has to score points and take the second game as we watch the replay.
So viewers, we are coming live from Cleveland, Ohio, where the 27th US Nationals Carrom Championship is underway, And we are watching the Champions Division Singles Semifinals between Saravanan Chandrababu of Cleveland, Ohio and Preeti Jakhotia of California. Saravanan has already won set number 1. And this is the last and final board of set number 2. If he wins this board, he is through to the finals.
A difference of 4 points, not an insurmountable. Difference of 4, Bala, not an insurmountable lead by any stretch of imagination, but Preeti has to really bring her A game to make a comeback here.
That's right, Doctor. It's all about the nerves at this point. You know, all those hours of practice, it is for these moments. A beautiful
Nice rebound there, Bala. Saravanan will want to safeguard the queen, and then that's the end of the story, Bala, if that happens.
That's right. A difference of 4 points, even though it is not necessary given the current position of the board. My gut feeling is both players will play for the queen in this particular board. We're going to see most likely a cat and mouse game with neither of them going aggressive, and neither would want to open the cluster. This
Tense
mid-game.
moments of this game for Preeti. Tried to defend the white, but it just stuck in the near the pocket. And he brings the home the red coin in his base, the queen.
That should put Preeti under pressure, forcing her to make errors. And Saravanan going for the queen. And there we go.
That's the
end of.
That pretty much will seal a place for Saravanan Chandrababu in the finals of the 27th US Nationals. And the last coin, he misses, but it's only of academic interest at the moment, unless something earth-shattering like a double due or something happens, which is
very unlikely. And here we go, the finishing shot of the semifinals. Perhaps not yet. But the outcome is already decided. Saravanan has already won. And there we go. Saravanan Chandrababu of Cleveland, Ohio wins the first semifinals of the 27th US National Championship happening in Cleveland, Ohio, and secures his spot on the finals. He has already won this title an incredible 11 times, and is going for his dozenth. Is that a word, Doctor? Dozenth.
Yeah, not a baker's dozen, but the real dozen. But what a game that was played by Saravanan Chandrababu. All aggression, which is his typical style that he plays. As we see handshakes in the hall, Preeti, of course, gave a good fight. Not the fight that she would have liked, but certainly and the best effort she could give today. Preeti losing in 2 straight sets against Saravanan Chandrababu, who Saravanan now enters the finals, awaiting his opponent, whether it be Luis Fernandez or Ajay Arora. The smiling assassin, Saravanan Chandrababu from Chennai, India, and now who lives in Cleveland, Ohio, Bala. And the Cleveland folks who must be watching must be pretty happy today.
Absolutely. This is his home ground after all. His family is watching.
And Cleveland, of course, the home of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Saravanan has been the rock star today, without a question. And I think the way Saravanan started the whole process, leading 16 love, and then Preeti coming back with 16 all, but then failing to deliver that punch that was required, Bala. And the first game went to Saravanan. That foul that happened was, I thought, somewhat costly, Bala.
It was, and I'm sure Preeti is extremely disappointed. She came close. She had her opportunities, golden opportunities, and not capitalizing on those are certainly going to haunt her for a long time to come. She was going for her maiden title in the US after all. A lot was riding on her for this. She has been practicing for this moment for a few years now under the able guidance of three-time world champion Yogesh Pardeshi.
Bala, what I
And-
was thinking was that the second game was a low-scoring affair because the red comes into picture when you are counting points. But the way Saravanan came back towards the end, that aggression was all out. And it did put Preeti on the back foot on a few occasions, and she was not able to come out of that. And if Preeti would have lost in a three-match set, perhaps, she would have thought that she gave a much better fight. But losing two straight, do you think that kind of plays on the players of this level?
I don't think it does. You know, she did put up a good fight. Whether it was 2 sets or 3 sets, it did come down to the wire. It was not a cakewalk for Saravanan by any means. She did make him work hard. Yes, she missed certain opportunities, but it was not a walk in the park for Saravanan by any means. And in the other semifinals, between Ajay Arora, the current US ranked number 1, and Luis Fernandez of Canada, the defending champion, a hat-trick defending champion, going for his 4th consecutive title, has started pretty interestingly too, with Ajay upsetting Luis in the first set by winning the first one. But Luis is so far mounting a comeback in set number 2.
Yeah, Luis Fernandez is a seasoned campaigner, and you never count Luis Fernandez out of any tournament, and he's here to make a statement.
He's a force to be
in the
reckoned with
U.S.
for sure.
Nationals. He's already has the hat trick under his belt, and he's going for a four-peat. But I think Saravanan Chandrababu may have some questions if Luis Fernandez does end up going to the finals, because Saravanan, who is the 11-time champion, you said the word dozen, he may want to make it a dozen.
That's right. And later today, right after this, we'll be starting the doubles finals between Luis Fernandez and Ravindra. Luis is made it to the finals in both the singles, not yet in singles, so far he's playing in the singles semifinals. And right after this match between him and Ajay, he has to play the doubles finals against Ajay and Navin again. And that live cast will start at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And later in the day, we will be watching the singles grand finale between Saravanan Chandrababu and whoever is going to be the winner of semifinals number 2 between Luis and Ajay.
So a
Which is
strong
currently-
lineup, Bala.
Extremely strong lineup. Viewers cannot ask for a better playing field than today.
The one point I want to make here is that Saravanan paired up with Preeti Jakhotia in the doubles, right? Two stalwarts, two outstanding players, but they did not make it to the finals in the doubles. So, is it fair to say that two great players coming together for doubles does not necessarily equate into a successful formula in doubles?
That's absolutely right, Doctor. You know, you need the yin and the yang, right? So two people with the exact same style, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to have an advantage. Preeti and Babu, they are both aggressive. They both have very similar strengths, right? And the opponents can capitalize on that. They not only have very similar strengths, they also have very similar weaknesses.
Yeah, so while Saravanan and Preeti did not make it to the doubles finals, Saravanan Chandrababu has made it to the finals of this 27th US Nationals being played in the city of rock and roll, Cleveland, Ohio. And this is a tournament where there are a lot of firsts. First time, Bala, scoreless, paperless scoring.
That's right.
Hats off to your entire team.
Thank you, Doctor. So the United States Carrom Association is on a mission to promote Carrom not only in the United States but also elevate Carrom in the world of professional sports. And we would like